Welcome to A Better HR Business, the podcast that looks at how HR consultants and HR tech firms grow their businesses and how they help their employers to get the best out of their people. Remember, for show notes and downloads, go to www.getmorehrclients.com/podcast. That's getmorehrclients.com/podcast. Okay, let's get started.
If your HR business is not going as well as you'd hoped, so not enough clients, not enough revenue, not enough sales, interest, leads, that sort of thing, then I want to share an example or a story that might help in turning things around. And so many years ago in a business, when I was an HR professional, I went and saw a sales director or sales manager, I forget what the title was, but he was really good at producing great sales results, but particularly around managing his team. And he did it in two ways. One was hiring really great people. So I don't know how he did that, whether he connected, did normal search, I'm not sure, but he was really good at getting the right people in. But then secondly, and what I want to talk about here, is his process for managing those people, because there were other sales managers or other sales directors, and they were not doing as well as him, and they had the same product services to sell, etc., just different geographies or whatever, but he was clearly different. And so when I asked him how he did it, he said that he divided his time differently. So the people who were performing at the best, doing really, really well, all he did was support them, just ask, is there anything I can do to help? He cut back on admin, he cut back on checking in with them and stuff. He certainly supported them, so it wasn't like he was ignoring them and not caring and all that sort of stuff. So he was very careful about that. It was a supportive, I'm on your side type thing. But for the ones who were not doing so well, and that was either because they were new or they were just not performing as well for whatever reasons, that group, he spent a lot more time and focus. He focused a lot more on the micro activities, the small steps that those people were taking, the activities. Because the ones who were doing really, really well, if you think about the duck swimming along the water on the top, just gliding along smoothly, no problem. And it looked easy, but under the surface, they were paddling hard. Whereas with the other ones, perhaps they were doing neither. So his focus around the micro activities was saying, well, what are you doing daily, the small steps, what are you doing to take action to bring you closer to your goals and your strategies to put them into place? And so from the HR business context, or to switch that around to our situation, if you've read the book about growing a successful HR business, and that's available on the Get More HR Clients website, you'll know that one of the core concepts to that is that everyone's different. We've all got different strengths and preferences and resources and so on. So firstly, we need to work out what we want, what we're good at in terms of our sales, marketing, growth, and then play to that. So we choose a few different strategies in terms of marketing channels. How are we going to get the word out about a business? And then we work those really hard. And so if you take that sales analogy, the ones who are the top performers, they've chosen a few different marketing methods, whether that's LinkedIn or giving speeches or writing stuff or doing email, whatever it is. But then they work those systems really hard. Every day they're doing things, small micro activities that are bringing them closer to it. Whereas people who are not having that success, and this is a generalization across, many hundreds of people. So, we're all different, so on. But sometimes people get caught out a bit in terms of updating the website and maybe working on a new logo or rewriting the LinkedIn profile, many times, or drafting an email, but sending the email to one or two or three people, or even sending it out to 20 people, not hearing back, and so stopping. Things like that. It is around that micro action. And so if this sales director or sales manager was working with you, specifically you, they would be, they'd be pushing you. They'd say, show me a calendar, show me a task list, show me what you did yesterday. Okay, let's work through it line by line. And they would make you open your email and walk you through every step, everything you did. And then when you look at that, when you look at the time you focused and stuff, look at it honestly and say, well, am I working on the right stuff? Am I working on the things that are part of my chosen strategies for acquiring new clients or getting the word out there about the business? And if they are, then can I do more of it, or can I make it better? But certainly the more and faster part. And that can produce such amazing results from the small steps. For one example, LinkedIn is a nice to have in terms of one of my own marketing channels. And I notice that when I don't post there, even though I don't get many posts because I'm not great at it, I don't love it, but I post there from time to time. But when I stop doing it, things fade down, get quieter. When I post a bit more often, I get more inquiries and people join the HR Business Accelerator or the HR Business Growth Hub, things like that. It just happens. So it is around action taking and those small steps. And so I would urge you to think about, well, what are my 1, 2, 3 main marketing channels, main marketing methods? And then within them, what are the action steps that I need to be taking? And then how can I increase the frequency and the quality, but particularly the frequency? Don't worry so much about the it has to be perfect thing, but just get more of it out there, get more of it done, contact more people, write more stuff, put more ads out, whatever your channels are, but do more of it. That is one of the reasons why I've got the HR Business Growth Hub, because that with the bite-sized learning and the new AI done for you AI tool, HR BizBot, that is around trying to remove that barrier, remove that reason for you not being able to get enough stuff done to get that marketing happening. So it's around doing it for you, doing it really fast. So grab a bite-sized learning, grab a strategy or a tactic, use the AI tool to implement it, and bam, you're starting to make a bit more progress. So it's about speed and activity. Because we joke in some of the coaching sessions that I have with clients, years ago, I went to this conference, a business conference, and this big guru type was there, and he'd get people up on the stage, to do a hot seat type thing, asking about their business and stuff. But before he started, he said, do you want nice Steve or angry Steve? People would go, oh, I'll have angry Steve, thanks, because everyone knew. Angry Steve he was on your case. He was like that sales director was saying, you're not doing enough. You got to do this, you got to do that. Whereas the nice Steve, oh, you're doing well, just keep trying harder and stuff. So sometimes I joke that, do you want angry Ben or nice Ben? And so on the angry Ben, can you imagine me being angry? But anyway, on the angry Ben, I would say, okay, let's have a look at your task list. What are you actually working on? What have you done so far? I see you've done your logo and your brochure. That looks lovely, but no one's going to see it. What are we actually doing for the marketing activities day to day and the volume, the frequency of those things that are bringing us closer to the steps that we've decided upon in that marketing channel, that marketing strategy? So if you're listening to this and you're wondering, well, what can I do to get more business and clients? Think of Angry Ben. I might do an angry face for you right now. Think of me on your place and saying, well, what are the small steps? What are the frequencies of those? And how can I speed those up? Of course, I'm going to tell you to get HR Business Growth Hub, get your access to that so you can speed things up and get new ideas and so on. But whatever you do take action, because that is the key that I'm seeing this year. And for 2025 and beyond, I think that's going to be the big one. It's not going to be all these fancy technologies and new strategies. It's about taking action, using the ideas and the technologies that exist already and they're getting better and better, but use them to take action. That's going to be the big message for this year. All right. Hope that helps.
Thanks for joining us today on A Better HR Business, the podcast that explores the world of HR consulting and HR tech businesses. For show notes and downloads, go to www.getmorehrclients.com/podcast. That's getmorehrclients.com/podcast. Remember to subscribe and share the show with any friends who are busy growing a HR business. Thanks and see you next time.